Welcome to The Truth Will Not Be Silenced, the show that allows people to be seen, to be heard, and to be human. I'm your host, Melissa Woodfork White. In today's episode, we will talk about finding your purpose with Dr. Tamika Ford. Sharing our stories allows us to be seen, to be heard, and to be human. There will be a special surprise at the end of the show. Be sure to listen all the way through for the details. Our special guest today is Dr. Tamika Ford. She is the founder of Next Level International Nonprofit and Next Level Divine Services, a coaching business and native of Shreveport, Louisiana. She is an author, speaker, ordained evangelist, and life purpose coach. Dr. Ford is passionate about empowering and encouraging others to seek and discover God's plan and purpose for their lives. She is a 2002 graduate of Louisiana State University Southern Campus, where she obtained a bachelor's degree in accounting. She is also a graduate of Louisiana Baptist University and Theological Seminary, where she obtained a master's degree in psychology and Christian counseling, and a doctorate PhD in executive leadership. Dr. Ford is going to share with us today about finding your purpose. Hi, Dr. Ford. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for having me. I'm excited and I'm honored to be on your show today. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ford. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Why did you write the book, Moving into Destiny, which was published in October 2022? Tell us your story behind your book.
Okay, Melissa. So let me start out by saying there was a time in my life about 11, 12 years ago when I did not know who I was. I did not know my purpose in life. I didn't know my identity. I didn't even really know that my life had meaning, that my life had purpose. And so because I didn't understand the meaning and purpose of my life, I abused my life. And there's a quote by Dr. Miles Monroe that says, if you don't know your life's purpose, abuse is inevitable. And that's exactly what I did. I was abusing my life, Melissa. I was caught up in addictions, alcoholism, gambling, drugs, prescription pills, and the list goes on. So here I am, I'm involved in these addictions, these dysfunctional habits, the wrong crowds, the wrong environments, just self-destructive behaviors. And I continued that path for about, I know, over 10 years. And I got to a point, and so this is me abusing my life because I'm not knowing the meaning, not even understanding that my life has purpose. And I came to a point where I was sick of me. I was sick of me. I was sick of the addictions. I was sick of the behaviors. I was sick of the destructive habits. And I wanted something different. But I understood that I couldn't do it by myself because in the past, I've tried to quit the addictions and I never went past 48 hours. And so that's when my pursuit of God started. I began to pursue God for answers. I began to reach out. I began to read the Bible. I began to study. I began to read books. And during that pursuit, God empowered me to take authority over my life. And so by his grace and by his power, I was able to take authority over my life. I was able to lay down the addictions. I was able to lay down the destructive habits and walk away from the unhealthy environments, from the wrong influences. And so that's when purpose journey began, because I remember telling God, there's got to be more to life than just existing. There's got to be more than me getting up, going to work, coming home, doing it all over again once I began to lay down those addictions. And so I cried out and I pursued. I seek God. And I said, I need to know purpose. I need to know, why am I here? Who am I? Because I have no sense of identity. And so that's how my journey started. So I went back to school, as you said in the bio. got the Christian counseling and did all of that. And so that's been my path. That's been my journey. And so when Moving in Destiny dropped in my spirit, I knew it was God. It was a God inspired idea because he's the one that has given me this passion. This is why I wrote the book, because there are other people out there that are just existing in life. There are people that's in a comfort zone and they know there's more, but they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. They feel empty. They feel alone. And in my book, I wrote the book to inspire them, to empower those people to get out that comfort zone, to know that God has more for you, that there's more in you, that he's called you to become more, and you have something to contribute to your generation.
Yeah.
You have something on the inside of you that we need, and that you just need to discover and uncover so that you can serve that to the world, and it brings fulfillment. It brings fulfillment. And so that's one of the main reasons that I wrote the book, because I want everybody else, I want others to get on fire about what they've been called to do. I want others to know that their life has meaning, and I can wake up and have purpose, regardless of how small others may think it is. It doesn't have to be something great or grand, as long as long as it's what God called you to do.
And
that
you know
gives
what?
fulfillment.
Yes. And you touched on a few things with sharing your story. One of the things that stood out to me was you said this was 10 or 11 years ago.
Right.
And so that lets me know right now that everybody, well, I already knew everybody's story is different. Everybody, different walks of life, demographics, the whole nine. But you're letting people know that it doesn't matter when. That's the first thing that I got. Is that, you know, I've been in church all my life, and then always, you know, being taught what my purpose is and what God's purpose is for my life, and answering my calling and making sure I'm doing everything to his glory and so forth. And then when you said that this was about 10 or 11 years ago, and I'm just like, that lets everybody listening and everybody watching know that everybody's timing is different. And it doesn't matter what your timing is, you can still find out your purpose in life.
Right.
Another thing that you said that brought this quote to mind, and I'm sure you've heard this: are you existing or are you living?
Come on.
And so a lot of people can't answer that question. There are a lot of people that can answer that question because they're like, I'm just existing. I'm going to work, my 9 to 5, getting paid, paying bills. It's an ongoing cycle. You're just existing. But then people that are living life, they're actually doing things that they are passionate about, that they love doing, because they know what their purpose is, what their passion is, and so forth. And so that leads us into our next question, Dr. Ford.
Yes.
How does your book, Moving in Destiny, help people find their purpose? So tell us specifically about your book. Give us some keys from your book that you want to share with everybody today.
Okay. Well, let me say this. First off, in the book, which is in the first chapter, I talk about becoming. And so to start out, to help individuals find their purpose, first off, I inform them and enlighten them that they have a purpose. That there's something for you to do, there's something you've been called to, and there's something that you've been called to become. And so I talk about that in the first chapter, becoming, seeking your identity, because you want to be it before you do it. You need to have a sense of who you are and your identity in God. You need that foundation. You need to be rooted in your identity, because when you step out to do purpose and do what you've called to do, when things come up, when the pressure and the adversity and the resistance and the pushback, because you're going to get it, you have such a confidence in who you are that you can stand and you can overcome. And so that's why I first talk about becoming. You want to become who he's called you to be. And I talk about how you don't need to look to external sources. We look to other people sometimes to give us definition. People did not create you. You didn't even create yourself. God created you. And so you can't define you, or you can't find you by yourself. You can't find yourself by yourself, because you did not create you. And so we got to go within. We got to go inside. God lives on the inside of us. For those, that's in the kingdom. and they have a relationship or they're seeking a relationship, God lives in you. And so you have to go inside. Don't look to external sources for people to define you. Look for your definition from the one that created you. Then I go on to talk about that you are here on appointment. That like, some people think they're here by mistake. Why am I even here? And I remind them, you're not here by mistake. You are an appointment. God has appointed you. He has appointed you to be here in this generation for such a time as this. You have an appointment. You have something to offer this generation. And again, we need you. We need what you got. And so then I move on and just to touch on other principles, because what I do is I share principles and information and inspiration in the book that will help you on this destiny journey that you need to incorporate in your life so that you can stay on path, that you can stay in pursuit. You have to be able to work the principles. And one of the principles that's in the Bible, seek first the kingdom. I talk about that, and all of these things will be added. What do I mean by seek first the kingdom? Keeping God first place in your life, keeping him at the forefront, considering his wisdom, considering his ways and everything that you do, every decision that you make. And when you do that, he says all of these things will be added to your life. So you don't have to chase peace. You don't have to chase love. You don't have to chase money. He said, guess what? When you seek me and you pursue me, everything for your life is found in God. And so when you seek him, identity is added, purpose is added, peace is added, wisdom is added, revelation is added. So that's one of the principles I talk about. I talk about distractions. Let me tell you something. One of the main reasons people do not achieve their goals, their dreams, and their aspirations is because of broken focus. I can't express distractions enough. You have to be able to identify distractions when you're on that journey and you're trying to find purpose, because you have to pursue it. I can't pursue it for you. But you have to make sure that you're identifying distractions and removing them, avoiding them, ridding yourself of them, because there's so many things going on around us that's vying and contending and competing for our attention. And you have to look at distractions as an enemy to your future, an enemy to your purpose, an enemy to your destiny. So please identify distractions, because that's the number one reason people don't achieve their goals, their dreams. They don't stay in pursuit. They get distracted. And so I talk about that. I'll just mention one other principle. I talk about protecting your environment. You have to make sure that you have people in your circle, in your environment that are on the similar path. You have to have people in your ear, people in your circle that's conducive to who you are becoming, that's conducive to where you're going. You have to have the right influences in your ear, because they are influencing your decisions, they're influencing your mindset, whether you're aware of it or not. You become like the people you surround yourself with. So the Bible says bad company corrupts good character. And the reverse is true. Good company, the right company, improves your character. So don't be deceived and think you can be amongst anybody and any type of influence. You have to protect your environment. You cannot be taking anything in, anything in. These are seeds. The influences in your life, they are sowing seeds in your heart, your mind, and your soul, and those seeds get planted. And the Bible says, if you don't guard your heart, then those issues will become a part of your life. Guard your heart, because out of your heart are the issues of life. So those seeds, you want to make sure the people in your circle are sowing the right seeds. And if they are a right influence, they will be sowing the right seeds in your heart, mind, and soul. So I talk about that. Protect your environment. Everybody shouldn't have access to you. You can help anybody. You can serve your gifts to anybody. You can be kind to anybody. You can minister to anybody. You can pray for anybody. But I'm talking about this circle. I'm talking about the people. Everybody can have access to you. That's very important when you're on your destiny journey.
Well, I will tell you, Dr. Ford, you gave us a lot to take in here. And so I think that it's great that the first thing that you do in the first chapter of your book is you let them know, you give them that affirmation, you do have a purpose. because before you can find that purpose, you have to understand that you have a purpose. I think starting your book out in that first chapter that way is very helpful to those that don't know their purpose. You know, getting that affirmation, I do have a purpose. I have a God-given purpose. God created me for a reason. I'm not a mistake. And I think that that is great. Also, when you talk about the principles, some of the principles that you cover in your book, you know, man, I was trying not to interrupt you, but I was just like, when you said about one of the things that I'm always conscious about is the people that are surrounded, and everybody cannot have access to me. Everybody cannot. Yes, I can pray for you. I can love on you. I can love you. I can do all of that stuff, but you do not have to have direct access to me. And so, because everybody that you do that for is not going to give you that same energy back. And it goes back to what you just talked about you don't want those influences coming in, because then they'll change who you are, and vice versa. And so, yes, you can help people. Yes, you can pray. You can do all of that stuff, but they do not have to be in your inner circle. They do not have to have that type of access to you. And so you touched on another one when you talked about that focus. That works in every area of your life.
Right.
A lot of people don't get a lot of things done because they are not focused.
Right.
And they lose focus. Because as soon as they run against some obstacle, some challenge, they want to switch gears. I'm not saying quit, but you know, they'll switch gears and go work on something else. That's also that's a form of losing focus.
Right.
You change your focus from that to that, so you're not focused.
Right.
And so I'm just, oh wow, everybody needs to get your book. I'm just like, everybody needs to get your book. So this leads us to the next question, Dr. Ford. How does sharing your story today help others? Tell us about your current and future plans.
Melissa, I truly believe me sharing my story, and I've done it many times, my story, my journey, my testimony. I truly believe, and this is my prayer, and I've gotten testimonies also, that my story inspires, motivates, and empower others to say, you know what? My life has meaning. You know what? There's more to me. You know what? God has something for me to do. You know what? I have purpose. And so my story is to motivate the individuals to come out that comfort zone, because we get stuck. We get stuck. We get stuck in routine. We're on autopilot, doing the same old thing, and we're expecting something different, and that is insanity. And so that is what I'm hoping, even on your show, that my story inspires and motivates others to say, you know what, let me get started. Even if it's just starting with a prayer, God, show me, help me, lead me. Start somewhere. And so that's my hope, that it empowers others to get to moving and to pray and to search and to see, because you got to search it out. The work that I'm doing, so I do several things, but everything I do is within the vision. Next Level International, my personal vision, Next Level International, Purpose Academy, all of it is the similar vision. The vision for my life basically is to teach, to motivate, inspire, empower, equip individuals with the tools, the information they need for, number one, personal growth, growing in God. Number two, self-discovery, identity. Number three, divine purpose. Anything I do revolves around that vision. And so that's the common thread throughout my messages, throughout my teachings, throughout my coaching, throughout my mentorship. And so I do all that. The work that I do teachings, I go out, I do empowerment sessions, I do seminars, I do motivational speaking, inspirational speaking, I preach, I preach down. So I get these invitations, and I go to religious organizations, I go to businesses, I go to nonprofits, wherever I'm needed, I go and I speak and I minister and I teach and I empower. I also, under the umbrella of Next Level International, I have Purpose Academy. I just started that. God put that on my heart, and it's still in the building process, but we're mobile right now, but hopefully we can get a building at some point. And basically Purpose Academy, we come to you, and whatever you need mentorship, you need your people, you need some coaching, you need some seminars done, you need workshops done. We offer that. You need some inspiration, motivational speaking. So we'll come in and we'll give you that, whatever you need on various subjects. We offer subjects such as faith, stewardship, management, because you got to know how to steward what you have.
Yes.
We do subjects such as identity, purpose, conflict resolution, wholeness, building the right type of relationships. And so money matters, just whatever, leadership skills, all of that. We have subjects. We offer subjects in that area. Also, I have Next Level Divine Coaching Services. That's a coaching business, personal growth coaching, book writing coaching, and life purpose coaching. And so I do offer those services as well. I do single and save workshops. I've done that. I do women in purpose conferences. I stopped around COVID, but God has put it on my heart. At some point, I'll be back doing my women in purpose conferences. My coaching business, basically what I'm doing is I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving you all the answers. In the coaching business, I'm basically trying to get you from where you are to where you need to be. Yes. So I'm your accountability. I'm your encouragement. I'm your guide. I'm your support. I'm helping you to identify things you may not see. I'm helping you to explore options and solutions and action steps. I'm here to help you identify some maybe negative behaviors and patterns and thinking mindsets that may be holding you back and hindering you from achieving and becoming what it is that you desire to do. And so that's pretty much the work that I do.
Wow, Dr.
And I love it. I love
busy.
it. I'm passionate.
You're busy.
Right.
Oh, you are busy. And so, well, Dr. Ford, tell all of our audience members how they can get in touch with you, how they can reach out, get your services, where to get your book from. Tell us how.
Okay. So I'm on Facebook, Tamika Ford, and it may come up as Dr. Tamika Ford as well in parentheses, but it's Tamika Ford. I'm on Instagram, Coach Ford. Well, it's Tamika Ford, but it's Coach Ford 79. And so if you need to reach out through email, it's coachford79@gmail.com. coachford79@gmail.com. And so I am on TikTok, Tamika Ford, same name. I have a website if you would like to purchase my books. I have 5 books that I've written. And so you can purchase those books at tamikaford.com. If you want to send me a message through my website, you can send me a message. If you want to sign up for coaching, that's on the website, tamikaford.com. Also, if you want to tune into my power chats, every Saturday or every other Saturday now, I do power chats on Facebook where I just give wisdom, share wisdom nuggets, inspiration, motivation on various subjects. And I do that right now. I'm doing it every other Saturday. And so if you want to catch me on Facebook doing power chats, but yeah, reach me at tamikaford.com and send me a message, purchase the books. I promise you they will bless you. They will help you if you apply the principles.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ford, for being with us on today and sharing with us about your new book, Moving into Destiny. So all of the audience members, those of you listening and watching, be sure to go to tamikaford.com and get your copy of that book and any other services that you may need at tamikaford.com. Thank you so much, Dr. Ford, for joining us on today.
Thank you. Thank you. It was an honor.
Thank you. Next week, we'll continue to discuss and have conversations about real experiences, personal and professional, stories that need to be shared, seen, and heard that makes us human. The truth will not be silenced, to be seen, to be heard, and to be human. The surprise, if you like and leave a positive comment about this show, you will get a shout out. This includes businesses, organizations, product services, and events. We want to give a special shout out to everyone who's watched us on YouTube and everyone who tunes into our podcast every week. We see all of your hearts and your love, and thank you so much. Following the link in the show notes lets Buzzsprout know we sent you and help support our show. Buzzsprout is the best way to launch a professional podcast. Want to ask a question, be a guest, or subscribe to this podcast, The Truth Will Not Be Silenced? Click on the show link. Thank you for joining us on today.